Hello, everyone. Luis Concepcion here with Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 14. As always, here's our disclosures. This content is for educational purposes only, not providing any investment advice. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and all investments involve risks. Now, we actually have a slow week for earnings. We only have 39 companies reporting. However, everybody's probably saying it's not slow because the market has officially reached bear market territory. So we should have a calm week. Obviously, unless we keep falling. However, we're just getting prepared for earnings to start really ramping up next week. Here's our results for week 13, provided 9 zones, and we went 2-0. Again, slow week in earnings. However, as you can see, starting on Friday, the banks start reporting, and then next week, the heavy hitters start reporting. So stay tuned for that. Went ahead and I update week 13. We had two trades at work were RH and AYI. Moving into the news, as you can see on Sunday, there's no news to report. The futures open will be interesting Sunday night, which will lead us into what's going to happening at the beginning of the week after this massive drop with the tariffs. On Monday, you can see there is no news. Moving on to Tuesday, no news for the U.S. markets. However, the New Zealand dollar will be affected after hours. So for those of you trading futures and Forex, pay attention to the New Zealand dollar. So we have no news until Wednesday with the FOMC minutes, and that's going to be at midday. So be mindful of that for those of you who have trades. We might have some extra volatility on Wednesday the 9th, and then Thursday is when we'll start getting news. As you can see, the Australian dollar will be affected in the middle of the night. And then pre-market, we got corp CPI and 3 CPI reports pre-market at 5:30. So expect some volatility on Thursday's open. And then we have nothing until the evening, which is for those of you trading the British pound, can see some volatility in that currency overnight. And then lastly, we have Friday where we have PPI reports and consumer sentiment. So be mindful, those reports are happening pre-market and 30 minutes after the open. So we can see some volatility on Friday. All right, moving into the charts. As you can see, this is the SPX, or for those of you who trade the SPY, is similarly the same levels. You can see that this is what happened pretty much after Liberation Day, and we just dropped. Now, for those of you who are panicking, you can see that this is 17%. We have not even reached bear market territory, which is 20%. Now, with that being said, we closed on Friday into one of our levels. That level being 5073.44 to 4949.52. And on the supply side now, I have 5581 to 5699. Moving on to the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ is a different picture and a different story. We went ahead and we are actually in bear market territory from the highs because we just went over 21%. So for those of you who majority of your stocks are in tech, you might be feeling some pain. However, if you don't know how to protect your portfolio, feel free to give me a call so that we can, and go to SPL Trading to take one of my courses, or just to join us so that we can trade whichever way the market is going. And that's what we've been doing. Anyway, moving on. You can see that this level has already worked here. So this is a little bit more aggressive. This is the second time we're here. However, if the S&P 500 rebounds on the futures market, we can see a positive week in preparation for earnings. However, in the event that this holds, this is 17,581 to 17,262. We did hold. This is where we closed on Friday. However, if we keep dropping, the next level I have for you is 16,863.91 to 16,562.83. Now, on the supply side, I don't have this marked for you, but I'm going to mark right now. It's going to be 19,159.03 to 19,704.33. And that's going to do it for the NASDAQ. Moving on to the Dow Jones. As I mentioned previously, I changed the DJX to DIA for those who wanted the ETF. Now, the first level I have for you is 381.57 to 370.68. You can see the NASDAQ closed into this zone. The S&P touched the line and the Dow is approaching. So all the markets are in an area where we can get a bounce back up. So that's the demand zone I have for you there. In the event that this fails, I have another level for you here at 363.80 to 360.17. And on the supply side, let me adjust this. The charts didn't adjust, but I have 415.71 to 424.07, and that's going to do it for the Dow Jones. Now, moving on to the rut leading the way down. As you can see, we closed into this level on Friday and have already got a nice reaction from it. So that level is going to be 1810.83 to 1766.71. Now, on the supply side, this is the level I have for you, is going to be 2133.34 to 2203.35. Now, moving into earnings for the week. I know we don't have a lot of companies. However, I did my best to get you a couple of companies to see if we can get some action this week. First company, and this is Monday after the open. After the close, it has earnings. This is Levi's. We got the 14.27 to 13.24. And in the event this level fails, we got 10.93 to 906. Just call it $9 even. On the supply side, you got 24.62 to 26.67. Next company I have for you is Dave & Buster's, always also reporting on Monday after the market. First level I have for you on the demand side is 7.71 to 4.25. On the supply side, 51.98 to 57.54. Next company I have for you is Greenbrier. Ticker symbol GBX. On the demand side, you got two levels on top of each other. So you got the 39.63 to pretty much 38 even, and then you have 38 to 35.24. On the supply side, 68.20 to 78.32. Next company I have for you is Walgreens, ticker symbol WBA. They report on Tuesday morning. First level I have for you is $8.69 to 7.42. And then you have the 5.58 to 4.14. On the supply side, 15.11 to 16.40. Next company I have for you, ticker symbol RPM. On the demand side, 97.90 to 95.35. On the supply side, 131.18 to 135.05. Next company I have for you is WD-40, ticker symbol WDFC. On the demand side, 212.86 to 207.41. And on the supply side, 269.69 to 279.97. They will be reporting on Tuesday morning as well. Next company I have for you is CALM, ticker symbol CALM. On the demand side, 76.99 to 72.30. On the supply side, 105.74 to 110.07. Next company I have for you, Delta Airlines, has been smashed since the beginning of the year. Pretty much cut in half from 70 all the way down to 37. First level I have for you is 34.45 to 32.47. On the supply side, 54.46 to 57.10. And they are reporting Wednesday morning. Next company I have for you is Constellation Brands, ticker symbol STZ. They report Wednesday after the close, 144.69 to 129.86 on the demand side, 216.89 to 229.07 on the supply side. Moving on to Thursday, first company I have for you is CarMax, ticker symbol KMX. This level has worked multiple times. This is the 68. Let's just call it 68 even to 64.68 on the demand side. In the event of overshoot, you have a level here at 61.57 to 59.55. On the supply side, 90.54 to 93.53. In the event of an overshoot on the supply side, you have the 95.51 to 100.20. Then moving on to Friday, where all the banks start reporting. First company I have for you, JP Morgan. You can see we closed into this level. This level is 211.50 to 204.28. In the event of an overshoot, you have the 194.86 to 188.24. On the supply side, 240.66 to 247.86. Next company I have for you is BlackRock, ticker symbol BLK. Approaching the demand zone here at 794.14 to 776.69. In the event of overshoot, you got two more levels here, 756 to 742 and 721 to 708. On the supply side, 934.22 to 981.78. Next company I have for you is Wells Fargo, ticker symbol WFC. On the demand side, 58.34 to 56.83. On the supply side, 69.99 to 72.64. Next company, Morgan Stanley. And on the demand side, first level I have for you is 93.75 to 90.52 and 81.39 to 79.29 in the event of an overshoot. And the supply zone I have for you is 128.75 to 134.08. And the last company I have for you is Fastnell, ticker symbol FAST. No supply in this. Well, as a matter of fact, I stand corrected. We'll play the all-time highs here, the 82.81 to 84.92 on the supply side. And we don't have demand all the way down to 64.25 to 61.23. In the event of overshoot, you have the 60.75 to 59.04. And that's going to do it for us with the charts this week. With that being said, for those of you out there who do not know how to secure and put insurance on your portfolios, feel free to reach out. Come take one of my courses. Feel free to follow me on social media. Check out the blog as I will be writing about that this week. And do me a favor, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Till next time, happy trading.